Hello, if you want to be able to follow us as we solve this Math 1 Checking 2, please go down to the description below, click on the link to Teachers Pay Teachers and purchase the worksheets, download it, print it out, and get ready to be able to follow us as we solve this problem. Thank you once again for joining my channel, and hello, welcome to Math Hack and Tech Tricks. Today we are going to focus our attention on Math 1 Checking 2 review. This is going to help you with your review questions in class, and we are looking at calculator active and inactive questions. I've already indicated the active ones with decimals and the inactive ones as inactive. So we're going to start with question number 1, and it's saying that the function f of x is equal to 100.08 exponent x represent money in a savings account after x number of years. What does the 1.08 represent? So we know that exponential functions are of the form y equals to a times b to the power x, where a is our initial value and b is our growth factor. Our growth factor here is giving us 1.08, and our growth factor is of the form 1 plus r, okay, where this is our growth factor and this is our growth rate. So it means if I have 1.08, I can express as 1 plus 0.08, where this 0.08 becomes my growth factor, growth rate. So growth rate, when multiplied by 100, when multiplied by 100 gives me 8%. So it means that there is an annual increase of 8%. I believe by now you can tell this. So this question number is B, 8% annual increase in the growth factor. Good. The next question is a decimals question, and it's saying that we should, two functions are given to you, f of x, which is equal to 3x plus 3 plus 2, and then g of x, which is negative 2x plus 7. At what x value do the functions intersect? So now this one here, I'm going to use decimals to solve it. So let's go to our decimals calculator and enter what g of x and f of x is. So we can enter it as f of x is equal to 3x plus 2. Then coming down, we use g of x equal to negative 2x plus 7. Now, all you need is to open up and find the intersection. So when we come here, our intersections indicate that our value for x is 1. So we go back to our question number and realize that x is a. So our question number is showing that x is a. So that is question number 1. The question number 2 is a. All right. Let's go to question number 3. This is a calculator inactive question as well, which is saying that if you have the same system of equations, there is also a system of equations, but there's an inactive, and we have 2x plus y equals to 10. Then we have x minus 3y equal to negative 9. Okay, what is the value of y? Now, we have two equations, 1 and 2. We are looking for the value of y. The best way to solve it, we have 3 methods. You can graph it. You can use the elimination method, and you can use the substitution method. With this question, you have to look at which one becomes the best method to use. I'm going to go with the substitution method for this question since I'm interested in my y. So I'm going to make x the subject of the second equation. So if the equation is x minus 3y equals to negative 9, we add plus 3y to both sides of the equation. Then we get x equals to 3y minus 9. This becomes your third equation out from the second equation. So you made x the subject of the equation 3x minus 3y equals to negative 9. I'm going to substitute equation 3 into 1, okay? And that gives me 3y minus 9 equals to plus y equals to 10, okay? Then what do we get? 2 times 3 gives us 6y minus 18 plus y equals to 10, okay? We can combine like terms, combine the y. So we combine like terms over here. We have 6y plus y giving us 7y minus 18 equals to 10, right? Then we can add 18 on both sides. Then we get 18 goes away, 7y equals to 28, all right? Then we can find what y is by dividing by 7, and that gives us y to be equal to 4. So this one helps us solve exactly what we are looking for, because the question says, what is the value of y? So this one, when we solve it by substitution, it brings out y straightforward for us, and that is 4. Okay, so this is how to solve this 3 questions in this mode using calculator in method. Question number 4. It says that a town population growth by the rate of 2%, right? So the growth rate has been given to us as 2%. Okay, we indicate that each year. In 2020, the population was 50,000. So in 2020, which becomes our initial value, it was 50,000 that we had. Which function models the population P years after 2020? So this one is just asking you to express your equation as y equals to a plus a times b your x, right? But this one, we are having the growth rate instead of the growth factor. So that becomes 1 plus r x. Okay, so let's do the substitution. We know what our a is. We know what our r is. So we have y equals to 50,000, 1 plus 0.02, because this is 0.02 in terms of decimals. So to the power x, that gives us 50,000, 1.02 to the power x. This is the function that models our equation. So let's look at our possible answers, and we can see that that is C. That is how to solve these problems. Question number 5 is also a quadratic model, okay, model of quadratic equation. So there's a quadratic motion problem. So we call it the motion model problem, right? A ball is thrown upward from the ground with an initial velocity of 48 feet per second. Okay, the formula h, which is h to the power h to t, is given at 48t minus 16t squared. Gives the height in terms of h in feet and then after t seconds. At what time does the ball hit the ground? Now let's remember that the ball hits the ground. The ball hits the ground means that h is 0. H of t is 0, right? It means that the height is 0. The ball is on the ground. The height is basically 0, because if the ball is on the ground, it means that it hasn't, rise or anything. So it means that the ball can only hit the ground when the height is 0. So let's equate this equation to when the height is 0. Okay, now the easy way to solving this problem, you can solve it in several ways, right? But I like to do the factorization method. So we can factorize 16t out. Okay, since 16 is a factor of 48, all right? So we can factorize 16t out, okay, which is Very, very important. So now 16 times 3 is 48 minus t equals to 0. All right. So we factorize one of the t out over here, which is this one. So 16t times 3 is 48t. 16t times negative t gives us negative t, 16t squared. So I can equate 16t to 0, and I can equate negative t minus 0 to 0. All right. So if we add t to both sides, we get t to be equal to 3 seconds. All right. And this shows that t is also basically 0. So the ball is on the ground in two places. When t is equal to 0 and when t is equal to 3 squared. If you graph this is a calculator inactive though, but if you were to graph it, you'll be getting something like this, which means that at t equals to 0, you'll be getting something like this. At t equals to 0, the ball is on the ground, and at t equals to 3 seconds, the ball is also on the ground, which means that it takes like 1.5 seconds to get to mid-air, to the maximum, and 1.5 to get to the ground. So this also shows that this answer is C. All right. I believe you are able to follow these questions